Hello, I'm Wesolowski. This is my audience. Today I'm doing an informative speech with the use of visual aids to discuss ways to save for retirement. Okay? And I'm not using any notes. So there are many experts out there that will tell you different ways that you can put your money aside to save for retirement. And those are all valid ways to do it. But I'd like to discuss the actual taxation that will take place when you decide to withdraw the funds that you want to withdraw. Your assets will be taxed at some point, no matter what, but ultimately you get to decide how and when they will be taxed. So the key thing to ask is, do you think that taxes will be higher in the future or right now? Because you do have some decisions to make concerning whether your taxes or whether your assets will be taxed currently, whether the gains will be deferred, the taxation of the gains will be deferred, or whether the gains that you do receive are actually tax-free when you need the money. So like I said, there are 3 ways to grow your wealth: taxed, tax-deferred, and tax-free. Taxed accounts would be your savings and your checking, your certificates of deposit, your money markets. These accounts have money put in after tax, and the earnings that are made on that money is actually taxed. Your checking account would have earnings about 0.07%, savings 0.03%, certificates of deposit might be in the 2 to 3% range depending on current market conditions and interest rates. One thing to consider that anytime you have earnings on any of these monies, you definitely are going to be taxed right away. They're extremely liquid though. If you need access to your money, you can get the money out immediately. And I definitely would recommend that you have at least 3 to 6 months of assets in one of these types of areas. Tax deferred is what most of us are more familiar with in terms of planning for retirement. You've got 401ks, IRAs, the 503Bs, Key-Op plans, and there are many other ways to put money aside tax deferred. Now, this money has not been taxed yet. It's put into one of these accounts and it grows tax-free. The gains are not taxed. Now, if you decide that you want to withdraw money from one of these accounts prior to age 59 and a half, you are going to be subject to a 10% penalty. And again, within all of these accounts, there's underlying securities that are driving the growth or the losses that may take place. So you are definitely exposed to market risk, but you're postponing the tax on the gains that you do make. And once again, determine whether or not you think taxes are going to be higher today or in the future when deciding to put all of your money into one of these areas. But we'll talk about what each of these types of accounts actually is, just so that you have a better idea about whether or not it's something that you can put your money into. The 401k is a plan, a retirement plan that you do in conjunction with your employer. The money's placed into the account prior to taxes being taken, and typically an employer will match a certain percentage of the money that you put in. The IRA is another type of retirement plan, and if your employer does not provide a retirement plan at your place of work, all of the contributions to your IRA are actually deductible, no matter what your adjusted gross income actually is. Of course, there are limits to the contribution that you can make each year, but it's definitely a good way to grow money in a tax-deferred way. 503Bs are set up by the government, typically by most states. The salaries of teachers are put into these accounts prior to taxes being paid, and the money is used to buy long-term annuities to fund retirement plans for teachers. A Key-Op plan is a retirement plan for self-employed individuals. As long as they qualify for either the defined contribution or the defined benefit plan. And as a defined contribution, if that's how they qualify, they can put in the less for $40,000 or all of their earnings. If they are actually considered a defined benefit plan, they can put in a max of $160,000 per year. So the KEOG plan is definitely a good way for self-employed people to fund their own retirements. Now, we talked about tax-deferred accounts, and remember the tax-deferred accounts are subject to a huge penalty if you decide that you need access to your money early. Now, the Roth IRA, which is a tax-free distribution, also is subject to a 10% penalty if you need access to your money ahead of time. The difference is the Roth IRA is from after-tax money. The monies that you put into your Roth IRA have already been taxed. So at 59.5, when it's time for you to take a withdrawal, that money's tax-free. The Roth, the underlying securities in the Roth IRA also make this type of account subject to market risk, but the Roth IRA is a good option to have if you think that taxes are going to be very high later on in life. Regardless of the fact that the Roth IRA is a tax-free withdrawal, the monies that you pull out of your Roth IRA at retirement are still reportable to the IRS, and they do increase your adjusted gross income for the year that you withdraw. So you're still going to have some type of taxable event that year. But because the government wants people to contribute to a retirement plan, but the Roth IRA is probably the best way to fund retirement, because we probably can be pretty assured that taxes will increase in the future. They do place limitations on the amount of money that you can put into your Roth IRA. Typically, it's nothing in excess of $5,000 per individual or $10,000 per couple per year. And once certain income thresholds are met, the amount that you can place into the Roth IRA is then reduced. It's pretty much the information about the Roth IRA. One thing to consider when you're invested in a regular IRA or a Roth IRA is that if you reach the age of 70 and you haven't started withdrawing, your money is subject to a 50% penalty. So so that you're not just letting your money sit there forever without pulling it out. You do need to be aware of that. And basically the fact is that taxes are here to stay. So if you decide that you want to put your money into a tax advantaged type of retirement fund, you do need to decide whether you want your money to be taxed now or taxed later. It's a personal decision to make, but I would definitely recommend at least having 3 to 6 months worth of income in a taxed account. Place as much as you can in a tax-free account, because I do believe that taxes are going to be higher in the future, and take advantage of any employer contribution that they're willing to make when you make your decisions about how to plan for your retirement. So in conclusion, Uncle Sam wants your money. He's going to take it from you now, or he's going to take it from you later, but he does want you to save for your own retirement. So only you can decide how much money you want to give to the government. You're making a good decision to plan for your retirement, and hopefully you've got some good information now about at least 3 types of ways you can take your money in terms of a distribution when you're ready. Are there any questions? Thank you.